One such instance through which we can kind of understand the distinction that the writer wants to bring into our mind, okay, is that the first paragraph, the last line, they were the condemned men due to be hanged within the next week or two. So you can see that particular usage, condemned men. Okay, so he has made it very clear to us, the writer, that they're already condemned. They are they are not part of our our kind of they're already doomed, they're already condemned, they are already like they are already nobody kind of a people. That is already clear, that is in fact been made clear by the writer. So just in that particular paragraph, we have seen like small animal cages in which people were living, and each cell measured about 10 feet by 10 and was quite bare within, except for a plank bed and a pot of drinking water, and some brown silent men. Okay, they are not white, they are brown, and they are silent men. They were like squatting in a bar. Squatting means they are like they're sitting, and with a kind of blankets draped around them. The entire description gives us a kind of a feeling, a kind of a pity towards them, a kind of a sympathy towards them. But that sympathy is almost like over towards the end of the passage, when he says like they are like the condemned men. Right now we feel like we have a kind of a sympathy, we have a kind of a pity towards them, but the reality is like they are criminals, they are prisoners, they have done something wrong, and that is why they are here. You're getting it? So the idea is clear up there, and hence you can say that through writing, here you can say through writing, how exactly they have made the distinction very clear. The writers, whoever it is, everywhere you can see that how exactly the writer comes up with the kind of distinction, what is right and wrong, what is something that is doable and something that you are not supposed to do. All these distinctions are in fact being made clear by the writer himself or writer herself. So that actually points to the very fact that there are a kind of a set of social practices which actually determines what? It actually determines each and every thing that is happening around us. You're getting it? In the next page, in page number 91 of my textbook, you can see that there is another instance where the people who are in charge, or you can say people who are in authority, they are making such blunt statements like, the man ought to have been dead by this time, aren't you ready yet? He is like very irritated, and he says like, you are like walking in such a slow pace, and you are wasting our time. And towards the end of that page, he says, well, quick march then, the prisoners can't wait their breakfast till this job is over. So taking a person to the gallows, or you can say like hanging a person, it's just a job for them. So that the attitude, it's just like something very usual, something that is very common to them. There's nothing new in them, okay, in that, for them. So that also reflects the attitude of whom? Of the the people in authority. So like there are various instances where we can see that the writer is trying to give his stand, like who exactly he is. His authority is getting reflected. In page number 92, he says, the rest of us, magistrates and the like. So which means that he makes it the point very clear that he does not belong to the category of prisoners or people who are being ruled. Rather, he belongs to that category of those people who are in authority. Okay, and like in the next paragraph, the last paragraph of that page, a young Eurasian jailer. Okay, so previously when he mentioned about the people who the prisoners, he made it very clear like they are dark and silent. Okay, dark skinned and silent, which means that they are like Indians. And now the person who is in authority, he's a Eurasian. Okay, so like that distinction, the racism, the elements of racism, it's very clear up there. Okay, And there is this instance of a dog getting into the scene, and and he, towards the end, he says, like, we manage, means the people, we have to manage all these things, means the powerful, the people in authority. The others are like, they are quite useless kind of people. That is why he says, like, and then we put my handkerchief through its collar and moved off once more, with the dog still straining and whimpering. So we managed it, so to all these, to manage all these mad dogs, who has to be there, the people who are in authority should be there. That's also a clear cut message of power relation that is getting depicted knowingly or unknowingly by George Orwell. Then there is an instance of, in page number 93, when the person who is, moved towards the gallows, the person who was about to get hanged, he avoided a puddle means a very small pool of some dirty or muddy water, whatever it is. So he is avoiding that, and that is sarcastically, or I can say ironically portrayed, not sarcastically, maybe ironically portrayed in the, in this place. He was about to get hanged, okay, and but he is trying to avoid a puddle. So that's a kind of an irony, okay. And there is also a kind of, in his description there is a sense of black humor also, okay. Then, when I saw, he says, when I saw the prisoner step aside to avoid the puddle, I saw the mystery, the unspeakable wrongness of cutting a life short when it's in its full tide. So in that particular statement, he says, the writer says, like, unspeakable wrongness, there is a kind of a wrongness, there is something wrong in that, okay, that the life, of this particular person who is about to get hanged, it is in its full swing, that life is in its full swing. Yet, he can easily think, he can, he can think, and he can avoid, a puddle on the way, but, he cannot do anything to spare his own life, okay. So at that particular moment, the writer, thinks that, or the narrator, you can say, feels like there is a kind of a wrongness in what exactly we are doing right now. There are various instances of black humor in the passage, and also like instances of irony. One such instance is like, page number 94, second paragraph towards the middle, you can see, when, the man chanted, the prisoner began to cry, Ram, Ram, and Ram, not urgent and fearful like a prayer or a cry for help, but steady, rhythmical, almost like, the tolling of a bell. The dog answered the sound with a whine. There you can say that nobody exactly, answered to that cry of that, prisoner, but dog, okay. So that statement is there. Then, you can see like another instance where towards the end, the last line of that particular page, he was counting the cries, allowing the prisoner a fixed number, 50 or perhaps 100. Again, black humor, kill him quickly, get it over, stop that. Then, in page number 95, you can say, I let go of the dog, so I was managing that mad dog. Again, that I element is there, that also you can see. Then, you can see that, there are so many instances of irony, like a quiet, homely jolly scene after hanging. It seems like a quiet homely jolly scene after hanging. The first paragraph of the, of page number 96, you can see that, okay. So, and, come upon us now that the job was done. Again, job, it's just a job for them. Then Eurasian boy, a person of mixed origin, walking beside me and nodded towards the way we had come, and all those things. Then such another instance is like, my dear fellow, we said, think of all the pain and trouble you are causing us. But no, he would not listen. Arch, he was very troublesome. There is a kind of sarcasm, there is a kind of, black humor, the pain of, those people who are, executing hanging against the pain of one being hanged. There is a kind of a portrayal up there. So these are the major ideas that are discussed in the passage. Once you are done with the passage, it will be easy for you to have a better understanding of it.